to episode 106 of Movies and Us. I am TJ.
And I'm Marcus.
And this is the review show that reviews genre movies from the beginning sometime. And, you know, you're already stressing your already hoarse voice as it is.
It's the least hoarse it's been in a week. So, yeah.
Let's stress it out more so it continues to happen. Sure, that makes sense.
Well, TJ, it's not making sense.
Today, we are covering Justice League Throne of Atlantis, and it is our first movie in 2015.
Woo!
Unfortunately. Anyway, this movie was directed by Ethan Spalding, written by Heath Corson. It was produced by James Tucker. It stars Matt Lanter, DJ Price, Sumali Montana?
Oh, maybe that.
Something like that. Sam Witwer. He's somewhat famous actor.
No, it's very famous. You hear me? He's the voice of Starkiller.
Of who?
Hold on. I'm eating goddamn Oreos. Hold on. Starkiller and the Force Unleashed, Star Wars.
He's Starkiller and Force Unleashed.
It's Vader's apprentice in that game series, who's very overpowered.
Video game. Oh,
yes.
Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, Star Wars Force Unleashed. He was Vader's apprentice in that. He also plays Darth Maul in the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebel series.
Oh, like I know him as like bit roles from the superhero shows. He's like he was in Smallville.
Yeah.
Once Upon a Time.
He's definitely famous for playing. He's a very big Star Wars fan, obviously, but he's playing Darth Maul and Starkiller.
Yeah, like he was in Supergirl also. He was also
really?
in something. Yeah, he was in something big though. Wasn't he?
In Smallville. I'm looking at this thing. Dexter. The Mist. He was in The Mist. Yeah. The Walking Dead. Apparently, as a dead zombie soldier, he was in that. Okay. Something big. I think just a Star Wars games. A Star Wars series is Darth Maul.
What do I know him from? I thought there was something big he was in that I know him from. Like I know him from obviously from the superhero shows.
I'm looking at his wiki right now.
But like I thought there was something big he was in that I'm missing.
Crank the Mist, Gamer, Star Wars, The Clone Wars, Space Dogs, Rogue One as a stormtrooper does count. Anything recently? Solo?
No, I guess not.
Yeah, we're probably confusing with someone else now. I'm wondering who you're thinking of.
Yeah, I don't know. I must have been confusing with someone else, but I recognize the face. Anyway, Sam Witwer, Serena Irwin, Jason O'Mara, Jerry O'Connell, Rosario Dawson. Everyone knows who she is.
What? You don't know who she is?
I said everybody knows.
Oh, I was going to say, there's no way you don't know who she is.
Everybody knows who she is, yes.
Even Jerry O'Connell. These are big names in this movie.
Yeah, Jerry O'Connell is pretty big, too.
Yeah.
Christopher Gorham, Nathan Fillion, also another big name.
Who?
Nathan Fillion.
No idea who that is.
Prolific voice actor.
Huh.
He's been in a bunch of stuff, too.
Yeah, I know. He was in biggest. I guess is not as big as Firefly. He was in Firefly as the main character.
Yeah, he was in Firefly, and he was in Angel.
He voices a lot of characters, like you said.
Buffy, I should say. He
was in the Percy Jackson series.
Yeah, he was all over the place.
Yeah.
Just actually skimming through his too.
He's got a lot.
Yeah,
a slew of shit.
Yeah. Right. So that was Nathan Fillion. Shemar Moore, Joy Atlandu, who was Drusilla and Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh.
Sean Astin, our favorite Hobbit.
Hey, yeah. Rudy. Yeah.
Harry Lennox, George Newbird, Malik Berger, Steve Bloom, who was also a prolific voice actor. Patrick Cavanaugh, Larry Cedar, J.K. Johnson, Matthew Ann Kim, Kyrie Payton. He's the king from Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Barry Denon, Paul L. Iden, Andrea Romano, who also sounds familiar.
There was a lot of Walking Dead people in this. She was.
Oh, yep, you're right. She's from The Walking Dead too.
Yeah, there's a lot of Walking Dead people in this movie. Like, wow, who directed this?
Ethan Spalding.
Huh.
We also have Michael Rosenbaum, who played Lex Luthor in Smallville, and Cedric Yarbrough. Okay, I don't know that. You know, this podcast has really made me learn a lot of who a lot of people are.
I'm glad. I'm really glad, because you see, like, they were very repetitive. There are a lot of shit usually.
Yeah.
I'm glad, TJ.
So this one doesn't have much in behind the scenes.
It's got a paragraph. That's fucking it. You can fucking read that. That's hilarious.
It's got a 57% on Rotten Tomatoes. So, people liked it. Some people didn't.
Stop it.
That's essentially what it is. That's what it says.
That's how I feel about the movie. Like, okay, yeah, it's a 57. It makes sense. Oh, shit.
And it's, as of October 2021, it has sold 4.6 million in domestic home video sales.
That's too many.
It's kind of low considering.
That's still too many, though. Like, come on, guys.
Why I bought it.
Yeah, that's too much, TJ.
I bought it specifically for this podcast.
I respect that.
I haven't owned half these movies until this podcast. Anyway, that's all the credits. And I said the box office. Oh, I forgot to say this movie is only an hour 12.
Oh, you did say the box office, didn't you?
Yes. Movie is an hour 12, and it was released January 13, 2015 digitally, and January 27, 2015 physically. There you go. Your turn.
And with the box office being spoken, it hasn't been, what did I say off screen?
60 to 50. Because I'm assuming something's in 50 to 40 that you couldn't do.
Yes, so I'm going to do 60 to 55 this week, and then 55 to 50 next week. Okay. So, yeah, box office, woo, yeah. So we're doing 60 to 55 this week because,
this movie doesn't make the box office, that's why.
It doesn't. I just want to see some, that's not much. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, at number 16 is a movie called Wolf Totem.
Wolf Totem?
Yeah, Wolf Totem.
No idea what that is.
During China's Cultural Revolution, a young urban student is sent to live with the Mongolian herders, where he adopts a wolf cub. Sounds cute, actually. It made $125 million. At number 59, Detective Chinatown.
That sounds racist.
It does, doesn't it? I was going to say that. After being rejected from a police academy, a mild-mannered young man travels to Bangkok, where he and a energetic, distant relatives must solve a murder case. So it's a comedy. It probably has a lot of racist undertones to it.
Probably.
Overtones, undertones, Number 58, a movie called Pan. P-A-N.
Wait, it's not what I'm thinking of, okay?
Which were you thinking of?
My first thought was Pan's Labyrinth.
No.
But then my second one was Peter Pan.
Yes. It's another retelling of Peter Pan, yeah. 12-year-old orphan Peter is spirited away to the magical world of Neverland, where he finds both fun and danger, and ultimately discovers his destiny to become the hero who will be forever known as Peter Pan.
Animated or live action?
Live action.
Oof, okay.
Yeah, it's at 58 for a reason. It made $128 million. I guess Peter Pan, must be like public domain?
Peter Pan? I would assume so at this point, yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like every 5 years minimum, there's always a remake or retelling of Peter Pan or the Captain Hook or Wendy.
Anything like 2D Disney, I would say, is public domain.
That is 2D Disney. Okay, that's fair. That makes sense because it's old enough, right?
Right. Yeah. I assume it's 2D. Yeah. Peter Pan and like the Disney version is trademark.
Yes.
Obviously, but Peter Pan's actually pretty dark. So.
Fun fact about Peter Pan. Wendy is the first time that name has come up was in the Peter Pan story.
Oh, the name Wendy?
Yeah, allegedly.
Interesting.
Yeah, I never fact checked that, but I heard that fact a lot, so
it's possible. I don't remember when Peter Pan was written, but
forever ago.
But Peter Pan is, I think it's Peter Pan, the Wizard of Oz, in like Arthurian lore or all public domain.
Which makes sense.
There's a comic book that called Grimm Fairy Tales that has an expanded universe just like Marvel, but the universes are like Neverland and Oz and Wonderland, so Alice in Wonderland is also. And if the comic book company can do it, that means anybody can do it.
That's a good like note to have for artistic stuff. Yeah, it makes sense though. Makes sense. At number 57 with $133 million, a movie called The Big Short. This one dives into the United States mortgage market crash of 2006-2007. And yeah, it's like, I can't say a documentary, but it's like a telling of some investors who discovered how flawed and corrupt the market was.
I've heard of the name before, but I thought it was something else completely, because I thought it was like, is that a remake of some kind?
Nope, it's just that 2007 market crash.
There must be another movie called The Big Something that
Lebowski.
No, that is like remade
Big Fish.
a lot. That's remade a lot.
Probably thinking about it.
Yeah. All right. Anyway,
and at number 56, a remake. Speaking of remakes, with $133.7 million. Point Break.
That was a remake of Point Break.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to say this list because he knows that title. Yeah,
That's Tom Cruise, right? As a surfer.
it's like Keanu Reeves, man.
Keanu Reeves is a surfer. Sorry.
And
what's his name?
not Kevin Bacon, not Kevin Spacey. Fucking
Yeah, I know who you're talking
Ghost. Shit.
Ghost.
Dirty Dancing.
Isn't that Swayze? I thought that was Swayze.
Patrick Swayze. I was saying Kevin was Patrick Swayze.
Patrick Swayze.
Yes.
I didn't think it was Patrick Swayze either. Hold on, let's look it up.
It's Patrick Swayze.
Right. Is it Patrick Swayze?
Yeah, because I was saying Kevin Spacey, but it sounded similar.
Yeah, you're right. Patrick Swayze. Who was I thinking of? Gary Busey's in that movie?
Yeah, he plays, an original. Yeah.
Who was I thinking of? I was thinking, I guess I had Top Gun in my head. The guy who plays opposite.
Not Dolph. My favorite Batman. What's his name?
Is it Val Kilmer?
Yeah, Val Kilmer.
It was Val Kilmer. I was thinking of Val Kilmer.
Yeah, love Val Kilmer. Anyways, yeah, they remade it in 2000. They remade it Point Break in 2015, and the whole gimmick was we're doing this stuff for real, and it's very in your face and actiony, and obviously it did not do well.
Wow, Tim Robbins and Michael Ironsides was in the original Top Gun.
Tim Robbins in that? Wow, I gotta watch that movie.
You never saw it?
Nope, not seen either one of those two.
I haven't seen the new one, but the original was pretty good. Actually, despite Tom Cruise's obviously disastrous personal life, he's actually a really good actor.
I like him in not all his roles, but there are a lot of roles I do enjoy.
His earliest roles, though, like late 80s, early 90s, he's fantastic.
He's a movie star for a reason. He's the movie star. He's just transcended so much time for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, he's a fantastic actor. Just a shame he's a crazy.
Well, hey, he might be a guest one day in our podcast. So, Mr. Tom Cruise, you're not crazy.
No, you are. At this point, I think he knows he's crazy.
Probably. I mean, anyone who believes in religion is kind of crazy, am I right? But anyways, that is the box office for 2015.
Is that even still a thing anymore?
What? Religion?
No, obviously religion. No.
Scientology?
Scientology, yes.
Yeah, it's still a thing.
Is it still? I haven't heard Scientology in years.
They ain't going anywhere, my friend.
It must have
During the pandemic, they had a big resurgence because there was a documentary that came out.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, people were like, hey, this is kind of f***ed up. Like, everyone's like, yeah, we know. Yeah, back to you, TJ.
I thought we had to get... I thought you finished off at 56.
Yeah, I'm going to do 55 through 50 next week, if I recall. Okay. So, let me finish off my last Oreo while you talk.
I don't think there's anything else to talk about.
What?
Besides diving into it.
Whoa.
I guess I can go into trailers.
Yeah.
Because I have the Justice League Throne of Atlantis, the commemorative edition, which means I got trailers from actually later, not 2015, from like 2018 or something, like that. Because the first trailer that I got was for Aquaman.
The new one, the live action one?
Oh, yeah, the actual live action Aquaman.
Okay.
So, the trailer actually reminded me that movie actually was pretty good.
The movie we watched reminded me of the other one's better. Like, oh yeah, that's the same story, but the other one did it better.
Then I got a trailer for a movie that's not on our list. Constantine City of Demons.
City of Demons. When did it come out?
It came out in 2018, I think, but it's not on our list. And I was like, why isn't this on our list? And then I found out it's based off of the Constantine TV show.
Oh.
And it was a web series.
Maybe, I'm not going to add shit to our list, but did it look good? I mean, is it animated, I guess?
Yeah, it's animated.
Did it look good?
Yeah. It looked fine.
Okay, it looked passable now.
I mean, but it's hard to tell from a trailer. There was a trailer for a bad movie that I saw. Oh, it was Man of Steel trailer that looked amazing. That movie looked amazing with it from the trailer, but it was garbage in the movie.
I don't know. That movie's really good, TJ. Wait, did we review that one already?
Man of Steel, yes.
And I hated it, didn't I? I
yes,
forgot.
you did.
Yeah, but no, I'll give you that. That trailer, whenever it came out, I was so hyped. And just the song, like, I'm so hyped to see this. And yeah.
Then we got a trailer for Death of Superman.
No.
Which is, we already covered one of it. I'm not going to lie, the trailer for this looks better than the last Death of Superman movie we watched.
Okay.
However, it looks just like all these other movies. These Justice League movies that we watch in it, this one, we watched the last one with Darkseid, and this one feel exactly the same.
Yeah. Which isn't good.
Even the final battle,
it
feels like it's the same battle with different people in it.
I've noticed it about these movies. Like, I feel like I've seen this before, right? There's like a lot of amnesia going on when I see these movies.
And then I got a trailer for Teen Titans Go to the Movies.
That, I remember that came out, and that apparently was very popular.
Yeah, I heard it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was well received.
And that was that.
So, nice.
Yeah, and I guess we could dive into this movie proper.
Yeah.
So.
Wow, that's a heavy sigh. That's not how you start a review, TJ.
Well, here's the problem with this movie.
Everything.
This movie is based off of a terrible New 52 storyline.
Okay.
And yet, that terrible New 52 comic book storyline is better than this movie.
Well,
this movie has made me actually like that comic more, which is terrible because that comic sucks.
Well, why this movie? Well, why was that comic better than this?
Well, we'll get into it.
Okay. And I'll say this to off the bat, I said it before already. This movie is pretty much clearly remade in the new Aquaman movie, the most recent live action one. That piece, I guess, the 2018.
This was released 3 years before that.
Yeah, so this is obviously a precursor to that. The other one's a remake of this, it feels like. And I felt like that movie, although I definitely enjoy the live action first Aquaman movie, I know it has its faults, and it's not a great movie. And yet it still somehow did better than this movie, which is shorter. So,
I remember the live action Aquaman movie being good.
No, it's a good movie, but like it's not without its faults.
Well, no movie's without its faults.
But like their faults that I usually cannot get past. But for some reason, that live action movie just jived well enough to be like, okay,
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, this one doesn't have that charm.
This movie is terrible.
Yeah. But I guess let's get in. This movie's really bad.
This movie's so bad that I took notes.
This movie's so bad, you took notes for me. That's how much I didn't care for this movie. I'm glad you took notes. It's been a while.
Yeah. So, first thing I want to... Well, the first act is the trench, the underwater monsters attack a submarine, and then we get Aquaman's origin story, essentially.
Yeah.
That's the first problem. Aquaman, I still say, should have been introduced in the last movie.
What was the last one?
The Dark Side one, where everyone Dark Side introduced.
He's introduced at the end of it, right, I think?
Yeah, he was in the post-credit scene.
Yeah.
He should have been introduced in the last movie. Instead, I put Shazam in there, who's not even in the Justice League in the comics at this point.
No.
I still don't understand why Shazam's a part of any of this.
I guess because he's like a fresh-faced character people aren't used to at the time.
I have no idea.
Just something different, comic relief.
The storyline in the comic works because they're working off the history of the Aquaman comics. It's only like 12 issues into New 52, but they already established enough history within the comic line to get to this storyline. They establish his origin. Arthur was already king of Atlantis. Because king of Atlantis, and he stopped being king and went back to the surface world. So we already had all of this. Now we're shoehorning in an origin and trying to explain all this Atlantean crap.
You're hitting a major complaint I had about this movie was they try to cram so much lore and faces and names in this hour and 10, 15-minute movie. And you hear the people you need to know and need to care about, and then when they die, you better cry at the scene.
None of them mattered.
Exactly. It's like you're giving us all of this shit, and the Justice League, and all this shit.
They should have established him in the last movie like they did all the other freaking characters and just did the story arc, but they didn't. And it's annoying. And what's worse is they change a bunch of the lore to fit their stupid, crappy story. Mm-hmm. That doesn't, you didn't need half this stuff.
Yes.
You know who my favorite character was in the comic book storyline? Orm, the Ocean Master.
Oh, really?
In this, he's a two-dimensional evil villain.
He is Black Mantis, right? All of them are.
Now, Orm is Aquaman's brother.
No, I'm saying he's a two-dimensional Black Mantis, or whatever his name is.
Black Mantis wasn't even in the comic. Why is he here? His presence here doesn't make sense. The Atlanteans keep saying the overworld people are bad, and yet they have Black Manta down with them, who is an overworlder.
Yep.
It's like, why are you even here? And then they have the trench attacking and stuff. And that was in the comics too, but there was a reason for them. The comics, they just disappear at a certain point after this. Why are they in this?
It's too much for not enough time.
So here's the general basis of what happened in the comic. Orm, the Ocean Master, found out he had a brother on the surface. He's been told his whole life that the surface world is evil, terrible, but he loves his brother and he wanted to save his brother. So when he finally got down here, he abdicated the throne to Arthur, who was king for a little while, and because of falling into Atlantean things, they came up with a war plan to destroy the surfacers in case something happened. Arthur eventually abdicated the throne because he lives in Bofors because he's Aquaman, and he goes back up to the surface. That's the backstory for there.
Okay.
While Arthur was king, he had an advisor named Volko, who's not even in this movie, who was the main antagonist in that whole comic arc.
Wow.
So Volko, mad that the author stepped down and he got banished because he was Arthur's thing. So he got banished from Atlantis, stole this magical trident to control the trench, and used them to attack Atlantis and essentially stole bombs and dropped bombs on top of Atlantis. So Orm thought the surfacers were attacking him, so he enacts the war plan, starts flooding the eastern seaboard, and causes it a war. And once they find out that Volko is behind everything, they stop. Because, it wasn't the surfacers' war.
Okay.
And then Arthur says, I'm taking the throne back, and Orm abdicates the throne back to his brother because he loves his brother and he thought he should have the throne. Orm's an actually complex character. Now, the characters in the comics are assholes, and I hate every one of them. All the superheroes are jerks. Arthur, says, okay, but you killed all these people, sunk everything, and so I'm handing you over to authorities. You're going to jail, Orm. He was the king of a foreign nation that got attacked by bombs from this thing, and you're gonna. He doesn't even like the surfer. He doesn't want to be a surfer. So if you're going to lock him up, why are you handing your brother over who's really not at fault here? I mean, sure, the xenophobia and stuff is... I'm just saying, Arthur is a terrible person for doing it. But Orm is the most complex character in that storyline and this whole thing. And this movie turns him into nothing.
No.
He's like, Arthur, you're a bastard. They just use the word bastard because they think it's cool.
It's edgy. It's PG-13.
It's stupid. And why is Arthur in a bar fight in the beginning?
Because it's got to be.
There's just no reason for it.
It's just shit that he's got thick skin, literally, metaphorically.
So that whole storyline that I told you, sounds better when I say it out loud, but it's not in practice.
Yeah, of course.
But it's better than what we got here.
Yeah, yes, it has it's a little bit more fleshed out, but better elements and slightly more care from this.
And like I said, I liked Orm. I was actually rooting for him to win.
Yeah,
even though he was murdering thousands of people by drowning them. They were literally drowning. They actually at one point, I think it's one of the superheroes says, "I can feel all the bodies under the water." It was really dark.
Insane. It's very dark and edgy.
Yes, that's the new 52. Oh, look how dark and edgy we can be.
Yeah,
it's garbage. Anyway,
back to the movie.
Yeah, the first act is, like I said, Arthur's freaking origin and all this Atlantean garbage and stuff like that, and
they also focus a lot on Cyborg.
Yes, so Cyborg is another thing.
I every time I'm gonna say this. I want to like this character. Every time I see him incarnated,
boring.
So goddamn boring. He's so whoa, with me. I'm half robot and half man. I used to be a football player. It's he's never entertaining and fun or up.
No,
or he's never deep enough to be wow, this is a very challenging character. He's just stop crying, you little bitch.
And this is why Shazam's in these movies, so Cyborg can have a friend.
Yes, because Cyborg's never been a fun character for me ever, besides Teen Titans in his shows.
Right. But even in this version, he's even more boring, because at least in the comics, they find... Oh, here's another big problem. This is in continuity from the last movie. This is technically a sequel. This is the start. It's a shame this is the first universe that we're getting because it's so bad.
Yeah.
But so this is technically the second movie or third movie based on what we've watched so far of this new universe. So this is after the last movie. At the end of the movie, it was okay, we're the Justice League right now. At the start of this movie, we're still not the freaking Justice League. Why are we still fighting?
It's so stupid.
Why is the Justice League not showing up for meetings and stuff like that? This is stupid.
Yeah, it's so contrived. Why
and also, at the end of the last movie, Batman and Green Lantern throughout that first movie were always fighting. and this one, and they resolved that at the end of the last movie. But this one, they're back to fighting again. What the hell is this garbage?
It's so dumb. Like, they wasted an hour and some change in the last movie to learn nothing. Thanks, guys.
Yes, I know. And then go back to Cyborg here. So all the...
And, like, not only did we not learn anything, but now you're wasting valuable screen time in this shitty movie, so we can't get character development of other characters because you have to show them bickering for fucking whatever reason. Like, thanks. We need to see that instead of seeing the Atlanteans become characters. Great.
Exactly. Now, to go back to Cyborg, like, all the Atlantean stuff happens and stuff like this, and, but throughout the, like, first few issues of the Cyborg's, like, he's only got his brain, his heart, half his face, and a lung left of his original body.
Yeah.
And his dad created a cybernetic lung so he could start going underwater and stuff without having to worry about it. But there's a conflict in the comics where he's like, I don't want to give up my lung. It's one of the few things I have left that's human.
Yes.
So it's a big point where he actually finally decides to give up his lung because, he's got to go underwater and fight these Atlanteans. It's actually a character development point in the comic. It's not great, but it's still a character development point. But in this movie, it opened up was like, I'm giving up my lung. It's not a big deal.
Yep, I'm glad I did that. It's like, wow.
It's like, what a waste.
So stupid. Like, if you know the character, it makes sense. Okay, he gave up a human part. It makes sense if you know the character. But like you said, it's very poorly executed in this movie.
It's like, God damn. And then, like, they start off right after Arthur's dad dies here. And it's like, I think that's how it started off in the comics. But, like, again, why are we establishing this character in this movie? It's like, we almost needed a whole Aquaman movie before we had this movie.
Yes. Because you can't establish Aquaman while doing the whole Justice League shit in the same movie. And only in and out. It's just too much. It's too much.
And then here's another problem. Queen Atlantia is the Queen of Atlantis. She is, like, the middle plot, essentially. The second act is Orm trying to convince his mother to go to war against the Surfers and manipulating events and stuff. In the comics, she's been dead for years.
Uh-huh.
Why are we bringing back characters? Why not just have Orm in freaking charge instead of turning them into a 2-bit guy and have him be manipulated by Manta if you want that storyline? This is stupid. Why? It's like... And then another tragic thing is Mira. Like, because... Like,
well, she's alive so they can kill her, TJ.
Well, yeah, that's Queen Atlanta. We'll get that in the third.
Yeah. Okay, they're doing the thing so they can make you feel something, even though they don't earn that.
No. It's like, I don't even know this character. Why do I care?
Exactly. I was like, why are we doing this?
And then there's Mira, Aquaman's love interest. By this point in the comics, he's already living with her in his lighthouse and stuff like that. But in the comics, she's a rebel from a different Atlantean, not Atlantean, but just for simplicity, Atlantean underwater society, and who is an outsider fighting against Atlantis, and they just make her part of the Atlantean Guard, taking away all her conflict and all of her thing, and all of her complexity and everything else that makes her an interesting character, because now she's just another fish person that makes no difference here, who goes and happens to go save Arthur here and there. Oh, look, another 2-dimensional female character, thanks.
Yep.
And that's not to mention the garbage romance between Superman and Wonder Woman.
So stupid. It's so bad.
Like, they're only together because, look, they're superheroes. They're the only two who like themselves.
So bad.
It's so garbage.
So forced. It's so
like,
lazy.
And then there's this stupid date where he's like, wear these glasses. And look, we all blend in. No one notices. And it's like, oh, you guys are so deep.
Right? It's so bad. Oh, man. There's not much, if anything, good about this movie. Besides, an animation's solid, I guess. But this whole era of animation is pretty solid. So you can't just give this one movie that.
It looks pretty, I guess.
But it's like, it's not good.
No, I did not like it at all.
No. So how's this movie get to the end, TJ?
So Orm, tired of his mom saying, I'm peaceful, stabs her in the back. Literally, just as Arthur is going to be introduced to her and with the Justice League and having meet the Justice League, they strike peace because of course they are. And then they have the meeting, and then Orm monologues and then tells his whole plans, because of course he does, because Cyborg's got to record that later so we can have an actual, conclusion to this story. And then Orm's like, aha, I trapped you in these underwater pods, which just wasn't a comic, but was different. And then he goes and talks to Surface World, which again in the comics it's already been happening. Like they were flooding different cities and stuff, and the ideas that they were going to sink Maine completely, and like as a warning,
Okay.
and like so that was the goal to stop them from sinking an entire freaking like state. But here it's just nope. We're invading the same cityscape that we keep animating over and over. Just this, which is pretty much the same escape that Darkseid escaped. It went less fire and stuff, and instead of parademons, now we got Atlanteans and weird, stupid armor.
It's all the same.
And then they all fight, and then the Justice League gets their ass kicked by Orm. Orm's not like a terrible supervillain, but he can't take the entire Justice League by himself.
Not at all.
I'm sorry. All right, that was stupid. Like, it's like, was every freaking supervillain going to get down the Justice League by himself now in every one of these stupid movies?
Yeah, and that's always been a problem with like most superhero movies. Just power scaling has always been off.
Like Darkseid makes sense.
Yeah, he makes sense.
Like, and obviously Darkseid's going to be able to take down these Justice League guys by himself. He's a freaking god. But, Orm's just an Atlantean with a magic trident. It's like, what's going on? Like, I can understand it taking down 2 or 3, but he should be surrounded by soldiers, and it should be like, them helping him. But no, one by one, he takes down the Justice League. It's like, bullshit. And then, they defeat Orm, and send them to jail, and then at the end, oh look, we solved this point. We're now really the Justice League this time, and in the next Justice League movie, we're going to not be the Justice League again because that's what we repeat plot points because we don't know how to come up with new plot points because we're all bad, terrible writers in this series because it's from the New 52 era.
I got nothing to add. This is bad.
This movie was garbage.
Yeah. You're coming from a comic standpoint. It's just no.
To be fair to it, though, it's just garbage. It's not offensive garbage, if you know what I mean.
It's offensive. It's not offensive in the sense of you're like, oh, bad females or people.
Yeah, like it's not Wonder Woman offensive, or it's not Wonder Woman offensive.
It's just the fact that they try to do so much with the Atlantean shit and the Justice League shit. And it's like,
right. It's like I said,
bad. This is bad writing. This is bad storytelling.
It is. Like I said, they needed to have an Aquaman movie before this.
Yes. And they should have kept the Justice, and they should have just resolved the issues of the Justice League in the first movie and just grow after that.
Right, exactly.
Like, why repeat? Like, why wasting our time and like not giving us things to care? This is dumb. This is a bad movie.
I thought the DC animated universe was supposed to be good, Marcus.
Yeah, so did I.
Who said these movies were good?
Right, because not many of them have been good so far. Only a handful of Batman movies have been tolerable for me, so.
Yeah, it's literally only been Batman that's been good.
Yeah, and this is really sad, because this is a garbage fucking movie.
Like, even all the stupid Superman movies are bad.
Yeah.
Has there been a good Superman movie? No, you did like All-Star Superman.
Because Batman's in it.
You liked All-Stars. You did like All-Star
Yeah,
Superman.
but you didn't.
I didn't like it.
No, but I did enjoy that one, yeah.
But as many good Batman movies as there were, there was just as many bad Batman movies.
Yes. So overall, these animated movies are not doing anything.
You know what? And the worst part is, we already have... This is technically the third one because of Flashpoint.
I know.
So, I mean, oh man, this is just garbage all around. All the Green Lantern movies we watched up to this point were boring.
Terribly boring.
That Wonder Woman movie that Wonder Woman movie was terrible. The Justice League movies are hit and miss.
Yes. Batman and Superman together? Nah.
I like some of them.
Yeah. The solo Superman movies are usually not good. Like, besides the one I enjoyed, but they're usually not good.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna get like worse from here on out, TJ.
Honestly, I think they might get better.
I'm not.
As soon as we get past this garbage writing they're tied down to, I think we will.
I hope so.
Because look, we got Batman Unlimited Animal Instincts coming.
Yeah.
And DC Superhero Girls coming up.
And some more Green Lantern probably. Yeah.
Actually, no.
Good. Let's rate this thing real quick, TJ.
I'm not done. Oh. Because there was a post-credit scene.
Wait, hold on. I gotta watch it real quick.
Okay.
I keep forgetting this post-credit sequences now. Wait,
well, during the credits, they at the end, the trench come back, and they were like, everyone says, we're joining the Justice League for good this time, and they're like, you joining Aquaman? He's like, yeah, I'll be there. First, I gotta take care of these guys in the trench shop, and him and Mira go fly off, and then during the the credits, they have like flashes of them taking on the trench, and then they kiss at the end scene, and then we get the end credit scene.
Okay, I just watched it.
Orm's in Belle Reve.
Yeah?
Belle Reve, that's the prison that
Yeah.
Amanda Waller works out of with the Suicide Squad. Just so people understand what Belle Reve is. It's in New Orleans, if anyone cares. So he's in Belle Reve, and he's like, I want to talk to my brother. That's how the original comic ended too. Him went and talked to his brother, but it's sad because he doesn't really understand why he's here and stuff like that. But in this one, it makes sense because he's just an evil prick. But so he's there, and he's like, I want to talk to my brother. And then Lex Luthor comes in and says, I want to make a deal with you. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, wow. We did not plan that.
No. I guess the next movie is Justice League Gods and Monsters. Wait, I'm trying to see what the next fourth movie. Next Justice League movie.
It's monsters, yeah, Gods and Monsters. It's Batman vs. Robin.
But that is set in the same universe as something else. That's not part of this.
Batman Monsters, Gods and Monsters?
Yeah, Gods and Monsters not in this movie universe.
Of course not.
6. Justice League versus Teen Titans is the next one. I'm just curious where Orm comes back in, because I have no idea.
Probably not. Probably one of those post-credit scenes that go nowhere, TJ. It's not the first time DC's done it, nor will it be the last time.
But there is, 15 movies in this continuity.
That's too many.
So you would think he would come back at some point, right?
Yeah, but probably won't explain it. But yeah, I think so.
I don't know. Hopefully, by the time this is 2015, I'm not gonna. So the New 52 storyline arcs should be dead pretty soon. Because the Rebirth happened in 2016.
2016.
Yeah, Rebirth, where they got rid of the New 52 stuff, happened in 2016. So hopefully, instead of continuing the adapt garbage New 52 stuff, they'll adapt Rebirth stuff, because Rebirth stuff was actually pretty decent.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm hoping, but I can't tell from these titles.
Yeah, well, I'm not excited for anything, TJ. You know this.
Yeah, I know, because you're just a miserable person who doesn't like fun.
Well, these movies are fun. They've been just miserable.
That's fair. These animated ones have kind of been a chore.
Yeah, it's not because they're hour long. It's just still a chore to get through. It's like,
yeah, I mean, if these were full length features, I don't know if I'd be able to do them.
I would have quit a long time ago. TJ, tell you that.
Yeah, but since it's just like an hour and out, it's like whatever.
Nah, it still adds up. It's like, that's some bullshit.
But going into some of them, it's like you're still kind of hoping it's gonna be good.
Yeah, but then a quarter of the way through, this isn't gonna be good. It's like, man.
But to be fair, the next one's called Batman vs. Robin. It's based on the Quarter of the Owl storyline, which was pretty good. So
okay,
hopefully it will be, but I don't know. I can't promise anything.
Let's end this thing, TJ.
But Batman, just so you know, Batman vs. Robin is a sequel to this movie, so it is set in the same universe.
I don't care for Batman, so I'm not excited for this. I just ended a podcast where I was bitching about Batman scuba gear, TJ. So
I know, because you're ridiculous. And that was the good Batman one. That was the one with Supergirl, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm really not excited for this shit. Man,
that was the good one. You're always just have a grudge against Batman.
It's just there's too much of him. This is oversaturation. That's it.
I know, but still, it's just because it's
he's a good character, but he's not that good to warrant so many fucking iterations and incarnations.
Well, it's not his fault that his is the only stuff that sells.
Well, it is his fault. Okay, God,
it's not his fault. Everyone else is so bad that they can't do it.
God, it's awful.
And we can't end this podcast until we rate the movie.
Oh, we didn't rate it yet.
No,
I thought we did.
No,
you're right, we didn't. Okay, well, I guess what are you giving this damn thing? I'm just trying to end this thing. That's how bad it was. We try to rate this thing.
9.6/2.
Oh wow!
But I think I'm gonna go with a 3.
Wow, that's really low.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just because they destroyed the one good character in the whole thing.
And it's because I guess you read the comics. That's why, pretty much.
Well, I would normally say this is comic bias, but I hated that fucking comic so much.
I know.
But so it's really not.
So this movie was so piss poor, and
it was just this movie was so bad it made that one good by comparison.
That's so bad. I came in giving this a 5, and I guess I didn't comprehend how bad and lazy and just not well executed this movie was. So a 3 does sound just, I think, because this is by far not the worst thing I've seen because it was an hour.
Right.
I'll probably give it a 3.
I mean, you can give it whatever you want. I'm watching a scene right now
Yeah.
where there is this doctor, Dr. Yoon, right?
Yeah.
In the comics, he was a big part. He thought he knew where Atlantis is,
Yes. Yes.
and stuff like that. And in the comics, he was essentially a red herring.
Uh-huh.
You're supposed to think he's the bad guy, but no. And then it's revealed that Volko is the bad guy. And he beats him up and stuff. But in here, he shows up at Offer's door, and you think he's going to be a big character, and then he's just killed off out of...
Exactly.
Like, what was the point?
And this movie's like, see, aren't these deaths meaningful and crazy, unexpected? No, because I don't know who these characters are in this movie. These guys are
I know
nothing
who they
to me.
are, which makes them even worse.
Yes, so like this movie just fails on not knowing the content and knowing like this is not a good movie. So that's why I'm saying like a 3 is just because it's no higher than that. It's nowhere near close to average. It's
I
not
guess we should mention.
offensively bad.
I guess we should mention there is blood and stuff in this movie.
Yeah, but it's like okay.
Like, there's one point where we see a skeleton when someone get incinerated and stuff.
I laughed at the beginning first. That's crazy. And I laughed at the beginning part of the movie. The submarine they're in gets blown up, and you see just nothing but blood coming out of the submarine. That's a lot of blood in that submarine. Like,
Well, there was a lot of people in it, but it was also cheesy because they showed this Marine guy in the submarine, like looking at a picture of his family, and then the sun goes down, and then the picture floats up into the blood. But guess what? We never get any. That never comes back. We don't know what happened to that family, or not. So what's the point?
Yeah,
what was the point?
I was expecting the fun son to come up and like, nope, nothing. Dumb movie. Yeah, it's a 3 out of 10.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah. It's trash. Like, it's not even fun enough to be like enjoyable to get through.
No, it's not.
Oh man.
But
yeah, that's I guess Throne of Atlantis.
yeah, I guess.